So this comment's from a video about how I said how Treasure Planet was almost a trilogy, and as much as they had a lot of things planned, I want to clarify something. So if you've been following the page for a long time, or even recently, one of my favorite movies of all time is Treasure Planet. And if you don't know what Treasure Planet is, allow me to elaborate. Treasure Planet was a 2D CGI hybrid animated movie by Walt Disney Pictures. Released in the early 2000s, the creativity of this movie absolutely blew minds, combining old colonial time ships with the futuristic feel of sci-fi. While the movie is just a retelling of the book Treasure Island, it still felt new and original. With an incredible story, amazing visuals, and great animation, this had the chance of becoming a Disney staple. And although commercially it didn't do that well, Disney had huge ideas for this movie. One big reason why this didn't do so well commercially is because the marketing was not well done. Disney, as it kind of began close to being released, started to lose faith in it. And not to mention, it went up against the very first Harry Potter movie, so, Treasure Planet to me has been the most underrated movie of all time. Disney having faith, slowly progressively losing it, and having ideas of a sequel being in the works just to can it just didn't feel right for me. And while I said in the original video it was almost a trilogy, I want to explain what I'm talking about. We had a full-fledged story that would have been about Jim exploring his time at the Academy, his rival slash love interest, as well as the new villain, Ironbeard, played by Willem Dafoe. And if you see that concept art and think, what was Disney thinking? You'd be right. But when I say Disney had faith, they had great ideas for this. While I've stated Disney had plans for a sequel, they also had ideas for a potential TV spinoff that would explore all the concepts of the second movie, as well as all the other ideas they had planned next. And while it's never explicitly stated they had a trilogy, they had a franchise in mind. More often than not, when Disney does a sequel, they have two choices: put full faith or direct DVD. While they didn't want to go a full directed DVD sequel, they wanted to try and explore the idea of the franchise, but ultimately, due to its failure in the box office, it didn't work. But the idea of them having the franchise and the TV spinoff was so heavily involved in their concept that they wanted it to actually happen. Which is very saddening to me because they had the full faith, franchise, sequels, TV, and as it progressively came close to release, they gave up on it. Disney had so much faith that they actually had plans to make that into an attraction in Disneyland, where it would be the submarine ride in Tomorrowland, which is now Nemo. That was going to be the place of a Treasure Planet ride. So to say a trilogy was in the works in a way is not far-fetched. I think Disney has the opportunity to make this underrated masterpiece a known masterpiece. With Disney having ideas of a sequel, TV spinoff, franchise, attraction, it's sad to see where it went.